to 2. One of the things I learned in November from you, mostly watching you do math in your head, was about the outstanding vote in November, representing a lot of that early vote. What is the case in Georgia? How much of what we know so far is the early vote, and when will the early vote be counted? Right.
So Georgia is different than some of the other states folks might remember from November, in that tonight this is going to vary by county. So what we saw back in November and what we expect tonight is there are going to be some counties that shortly after the polls close at 7 o'clock, they will release all of or most of the mail-in vote for that county. There are going to be other counties that decide to wait until the end of the night and at midnight or 1 in the morning, something like that, are going to release their mail vote then. Some counties are going to start out with the votes that were cast same day. Some counties are going to the sequence. We have been calling around, talking to different county officials, trying to get a sense of this. And really the answer is it's all over the map here. So we've got some sense of which counties are going to do it which way. As I stand here at 7, 8 o'clock tonight and the votes are coming in, I'll try to give you as much guidance as I can based on what I've learned on that question. But that is going to be, I think that's an important point you raised, because for folks watching the coverage tonight, it's not just enough when you're seeing partial returns from these counties come in tonight, when you're seeing 50% of the vote in from a county. It's important to see how the two candidates are doing. But the most important question to answer when you see partial returns from any county is, what vote is this? Right. Am I looking at the mail vote? Am I looking at the same day vote? Am I looking at a combination of them? That can be challenging in some of these counties. It's the nature of vote reporting in Georgia. It can be very opaque, the accounting on this on election night. But we will do our best to take you through it with that question in mind. What is the vote we're looking at now? And what is the type of vote that is still to come here? Because those are going to be the variables that kind of decide the election.
And I think of that when I look at you, kind of making some of these carve-offs, and when we compare them to November, it'll be difficult to have really meaningful comparisons to November until we have a full representation of the vote. Is that good sort of caution here at this early hour?
Absolutely. Here's what we want to do as the votes start coming in. Here's something everybody can keep an eye out for. When we start getting completed counties, right, so think of it. Last night, where was Trump? Trump was in North Georgia. North Georgia is the heart of Republican country in Georgia. When we get a couple completed counties, all the votes in from North Georgia, we want to say, okay, how many total votes were cast in Whitfield County? Okay, what percentage of that county's votes in November does that account for? Are they at like 80% of their November turnout? Are they at 70%? You want to get a sense of that, and then you want to compare it. Once we get, a handful of Democratic counties in, we want to compare those numbers. Is one higher than the other? Are we seeing that there's more Democratic turnout, more turnout in the Democratic counties than there is in the Republican counties? Are we seeing any kind of an enthusiasm gap there? That's the kind of thing we got to get some completed counties up on the board to see. But that obviously is going to be a major question we're tracking as soon as these polls close.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.